Greetings and happy Monday, everybody. I'm Brandon Jeter. I'm your instructor for English 1105, Workplace and Technical Communication. So let's talk about this course. So every Monday, I will post a video lesson for you. We'll talk about what we're doing this week, and I'll give you pointers on how to ace the coursework for the week. First, let's talk about what's in Blackboard. So here's our Blackboard course shell. And at the top, these two things will always be at the top. So we have the Launchpad course link. Click there to enter Launchpad. Launchpad is where the course is taking place. Almost everything will be turned in, will be completed in Launchpad. The only things that are not completed in Launchpad are written assignments. So any memos or essays that you have to turn in, or presentations such as Excel sheets or PowerPoint presentations or any pictures that you have to do, they will be turned in on Blackboard. Anytime you have to turn in something on Blackboard though, I'll make an announcement for it. So you can just click on the announcement and turn it in from there. So you don't have to, there won't be a lot of like guesswork that you have to do. All the quizzes, the tests, exams, they take place on Launchpad. The readings take place on Launchpad. The textbook is in Launchpad. So Launchpad is our main workplace for the course. I just put the link here so that it's easy to get to. You can also make a link for yourself in your bookmarks. That's what I do. But it's also here to make it easy for you if you're already in Blackboard for your other classes. The second link here, Jeter's online Zoom meeting room. This is where I'll be for my online office hours. So if you have any questions, if there's an assignment that you want to go over, feel free to pop in to the online Zoom meeting room. It's not a Zoom room, it's a collaborate room. So I'll change that to make it say collaborate room. Pop into the collaborate room and meet me there. My office hours are on the syllabus, so check me out. If you need any help, or if you want to go over something, or if you're having trouble signing into Launchpad or something like that, pop in, let's talk about it. And of course, you can send me an email. Like, that's any way you communicate with me so that, we can make sure you're doing your best in the course. First things first, make sure that you are registered in Launchpad. If you're in the course, you do have to purchase the Launchpad or the Macmillan text. And if you purchase a physical textbook, brand new, it will have the Launchpad code in there, so you can just register and launch for Launchpad and get your online Launchpad app going. Or you can just straight up purchase access to Launchpad. And that means that your textbook will be online, readable in Launchpad, and you can still do all your quizzes and stuff like that. The online textbook is pretty neat. You can do highlights, and when you're doing your quizzes and certain things, it'll help you to reference things a lot quicker in the online textbook. So every week, you can find my tips for you right down here in the announcements. It'll be a video like this one. Um, and if there are any written assignments due, um, the link for that would be at the bottom of the video. And I'll point that out to you when written assignments are due. So let's click into Launchpad and see what we have here. So for you, for this week, just to make sure everything is running properly, we have chapter 1 and chapter 2. Now, for the order, the best practice for completing things in this course is to read the chapter. So if we're going to do chapter 1, start right here where it says Introduction to Technical Communication ebook. Read it, go to the next page. Read the entire chapter. Read the entire chapter. Then I suggest that you complete the true-false test first, or it's officially a quiz in the grade book. The true-false quiz, and then do the multiple choice quiz. For this week, we don't have any written assignments, just because I want the first week I want you to acclimate to going into Launchpad and taking the quizzes. So chapter 1, chapter 2 are both true, false, and multiple choice quizzes. And once you complete the quiz, I'll check them over just to make sure everything is okay. And I'll port those grades over into Blackboard, which is our official grade book, where the official grade book is. So for chapter 1, Introduction to Technical Communication, this chapter talks about what technical communication is. And with technical communication, you won't always use technical communication. In fact, when we are just speaking to our friends or family, we rarely use technical communication because usually when we communicate to friends and family or people we love, like we want our communication to be interesting, intriguing, fun, lovable. We want that aesthetic to it that makes people want to hear what we have to say. With technical communication, that aesthetic takes a backseat. We want to communicate in the most effective and efficient way that we can when it comes to technical communication. And some things that we have to communicate are not simple things. So even with very complicated things, we want people to get out of it what they're supposed to get out of it and walk away being enriched or walk away being enlightened on the, the information that they're supposed to have. So a lot of times, especially in the workplace, a lot of workplace communication, especially when it's written, is technical communication. And you may not use a lot of technical communication at your job, but you will use some. Almost always, you will use some, or you'll have to receive some. And it's always a good skill set to have to even be able to recognize when technical communication is necessary. For chapter 2, understanding ethical and legal obligations, there's always some ethics involved with technical communication. There's always some morality. Are you including everything in what you're saying? Are you leaving anything out? And the denotation and the connotation, meaning what your words actually mean versus what you mean for your words to mean, is very important when it comes to technical communication. Do your words suggest something that they shouldn't suggest or that you don't mean? Or are you neglecting to suggest something that you should suggest? One of my favorite sayings over the last couple of years is words mean things. And even though we use words all the time, we take for granted sometimes the meanings of our words. The meanings, we take for granted sometimes what it means to leave out a word or leave out a comma, leave out some other piece of punctuation because it could change the meaning, the connotation of what you're saying. So we have to be very careful with what our words are saying. And there's a, a deep ethical value to doing that. Um, in fact, this is what a lot of PR firms and PR managers do all the time. They're always updating their ethical and legal obligation skill set because whoever they're representing, they have to be able to say things precise, very precisely, um, especially if they're like vice VPs or officers of a major company or government entity. That's what it's supposed to be like anyway. um, People are supposed to, who are in high places, are supposed to know um, that their words have consequences and what those consequences are and may be. So, with chapter 1 and chapter 2, read the chapter, read every page. Um, find your enjoyment in learning about technical communication skills. And once you're finished reading, do those quizzes. Um, and as soon as you can find your enjoyment in reading and doing the quizzes, once it comes time to do a project or a written assignment, it'll be simple to you because you already have the information in your head already. Um, at some point for the midterm and for the final, there will be these um, like learning curve assignments, and I count those as extra credit. They are just midterm and final practices, and I like to reward people for doing extra work. So um, if you do those things, it'll be extra 5 points to your midterm and the final. So do them. I mean, they help get you extra credit, and they also help you to solidify your knowledge up to the midterm point and from the midterm to the final point. So just do them. All right, so I think that's it for this week. Chapter 1, chapter 2, read the chapter, do the true and false, do the multiple choice. See a couple of you have done it already, and that's great. And after this week, I will open up the course to the midterm point. It's just that I don't want to open up everything because I want to make sure that all the bugs and kinks are out first. So, yeah, enjoy this week. And if you have any questions, shoot me an email and or come to any of the online office hours. Alrighty, until next Monday or until office hour time, I'll see you.